everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Butterfly Analogy. On today's episode, I have my cousin David on. Say hi, David.
Hello, how are you?
What's up? How are you doing?
I'm doing great, how are you?
Pretty good. It's windy and stuff, and I hope like shit doesn't blow away, but...
Yeah, setting up was a whole process.
It was. I appreciate you helping me, man. I really do. Because the camera blew away. We can get wet. The waves are crazy out here too. This podcast is gonna turn into like a Storm Chasers episode.
Yeah.
Imagine. No, but how's your day so far?
It's going good. Yeah. It's going pretty good. Yeah, how about yours?
Pretty good. Yeah, I just woke up, started setting up. I made breakfast. Nothing crazy.
Really? What'd you eat?
Yeah. What'd I eat? I ate some bread with eggs and bacon. It wasn't a bacon, egg, and cheese though, but I wish it was. What about you? Did you have breakfast?
No, I didn't eat breakfast actually. I usually eat breakfast around, I don't know, 12, 1, 2, around there, yeah. Damn. I don't really eat early in the morning, even though I should, because like I'm a gym rat and everything. Like I have to eat at like a nutrition time.
Yeah.
But it's alright.
It's okay. That happens. We'll get brunch after this. So, oh my god. And while we were setting up, I kind of like tipped over his like juice and it fell in the fucking water.
It fell off. But it was the wind. I'm telling you, this wind is ridiculous.
Oh my gosh. But on this episode, I wanted to talk about relationships, but more so importantly, breakups that come after relationships. Like I've personally gone through breakups that are tough to deal with, and I'm pretty sure you guys have as well, right?
Yeah, most definitely. So again, yeah, so everything's all love and peacefully towards during the relationship and everything, but what people don't really focus on is the outcome of the relationship, whether it's either the guy's side, girl side, both sides, or even neither sides. It's just a whole conflict that happens at the end.
Exactly. You know, I feel like the beauty is definitely like in the beginning of everything, but like you said, nobody really talks about the pain that comes afterwards, like after the relationship ends. So you were dating somebody, I remember you came into the flower shop and you were buying like flowers for Valentine's Day. Do you remember that day?
I remember that day clearly. Yeah.
So how'd you guys meet?
So we met through Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
That's how we met. It was like around a year ago. Not like it was towards like December. That's when we started sparking things. But like we met before that. She came from Florida. And then she started working at Chick-fil-A, and I was actually her trainer. I was on her trainer on fries, but she already knew fries because she already worked at Chick-fil-A in Florida. Yeah. So it was like me teaching her everything. And the funny thing is that she only knew Spanish as well. Well, she knew English as well, but like mostly Spanish than English. And then during that time, my Spanish was horrible. Like it was like broken Spanish. I was acting like a no kid on that. It was horrible.
Yeah.
So I was there like talking to her in Spanish and everything, and then like she already knew everything, and she was like, "What the fuck?" and everything. So yeah, that's how we met.
That's how you started. So how was it like in the beginning? Like, how'd you guys kick it off exactly?
So we kicked it off by actually. So my best friend during that time, she used to. We both used to work to each other. Again at Chick-fil-A. She still works there. I don't. She actually told me that she liked me. So like she would send me pictures of girls because she used to go to Freeport High School, and then I'll like she sent me a picture of this girl of the school thought, and then I'll and then me being a young kid in high school, I was like yo pass me your snap and everything, and then she eventually told me what about this girl. What about this girl? And then like for me, I was surprised at the time because again, we were just starting as friends. Like I only saw her as a friend. I didn't see no relationship with her or anything. Yeah. And then when she told me, I was like starstruck because apparently everybody knew about her liking me. I was just the only person who was blind about it.
She didn't give you like any signs, like.
She definitely gave me a lot of signs. I just, I don't know. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So how was the relationship like when you guys were together and stuff?
It was amazing, beautiful. Like literally, this relationship. Like I'm going to a personal, like right off the bat already. This relationship made all my other relationships seem like nothing. You know.
Wow.
It. I guess it was just that sensational. Like I've done so much things with her, and I had so many patience with her because for her it was something new. Like I was literally her first kiss, her first boyfriend, her first everything.
Yeah.
And then me having the patience for that actually says a lot of stuff. And towards the start of the relationship, I mean I'm not gonna lie. Again, I had a mentality. I was fresh out of high school. I was going into college. I didn't really look for a relationship or anything. Like I was literally into that, like, I guess you could say that fuckboy stage, that living my life stage. So I never focused on that relationship. So towards the beginning of the relationship, yes, I acted bad. I'm not confronted about it. I'm owning up to my actions and everything. But towards that 3 months period, that 3 months that we started dating, that's when I started actually changing. I was like, all right, so I'm literally gonna give my all to this girl. I'm literally gonna go all in.
So what changed that exactly? Like, how did you go from like not wanting something serious to then like?
So I started off the relationship again. Me not looking for a relationship. I cheated. I was unfaithful. So toward like around January, February, while she was talking, while we were talking, when I found out that she liked me, I was talking to a different girl at our same job. She eventually caught on. I got caught, and then there was one time that she went to Florida, and then again, me being the stupid kid that didn't want to do anything, I took advantage of her leaving, and I did crap behind her. It's called behind her back. So I was unfaithful for those 3 months, those beginning of the 3 months. But after that, again, I decided what I wanted. I was like, all right. So I already been to college and everything. I already lived that college lifestyle. I did this with my previous. It's called before seeing her.
Yeah.
I did all this crap, and then I'm already set. Like, yes, I'm young. I know I'm young as fuck. I shouldn't be thinking about all this crap. But again, with the environment that we grew up in, especially our block, our city, and everything, that I was forced to grow up with, especially the situation I am with my family and everything. I'm forced to grow up with, so I already know what I want to set with my life. You know, I already have my goals, and then having this woman with me, besides me, throughout the whole journey, it would have been amazing.
So I guess just really figuring out what you wanted in life changed everything for you.
Yeah,
okay?
Exactly.
Did a part of you, in a sense, like self-sabotage in the beginning?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Because again, I didn't think where, like, if you would have told me at the beginning of the relationship that I was gonna be like this towards the end of it, I wouldn't believe myself. Like it's just outstanding how much love I have for this girl. Even after the things that happened after the breakup, which we'll get to that soon.
Yeah.
It's mind blowing of how much I love. Like, attachment is not a joke. Like you once you're attached to this person or attached to anyone in general, you really love them no matter what they do to you or what they did.
Yeah. So when did things start going downhill, would you say?
So I guess when she caught on.
When she caught on.
That's when she loses trust. That's when any girls lose trust. Any guy in any situation, a partner cheats, there's no trust.
Yeah.
So she like, you can't blame the girl. Like she always wants to know where I'm at, etc. Who I'm talking to, what I'm doing when I'm not with her, etc. And she's always like insecure. Like that becomes a thing. Like you become insecure because you don't like if this person, the person that you love, the person that says that they love you, starts cheating on you, then obviously you start becoming insecure about yourself because you're like, what's wrong with me? What did I do?
Yeah.
So again, I don't blame her. So that's when it starts going downhill. It was towards our 10 months, 11 months. She eventually told me that she wanted to break up because of our previous, what she encountered in 3 months. Again, can't blame her, but me being me and having, I guess you could say, a toxic past, etc. around that.
Yeah.
I eventually went crazy, I guess you could say that. Literally, the only thing I did was just kept on texting her and calling her. It's hard to come back. But yeah, that's it.
I like that you brought up that your actions kind of affected the way she kind of saw herself, because, you know, I feel like in social media we're reaching this stage where everybody's so quick to label everybody as like toxic and stuff, where it's like, oh, she's like crazy because she's insecure, or she's crazy because of this reason and the next. But what I feel like people fail to realize is that sometimes the things we do really affect the way women or sometimes men interact with us in a relationship, you know?
Yeah, most definitely. And then like toxic, that's I feel like that's a label that's been overused too much. Like, again, toxicity doesn't necessarily mean what they're doing in a relationship. It also involves a trauma. I mean, like, for me, I totally understand why I could be labeled as toxic. But again, it's just through all the trauma that I've been through.
Exactly.
Like, literally, my whole family has been cheated upon on.
Yeah.
So I'm growing up with cheating,
Exactly.
etc. My previous relationship from this one, it was just horribly toxic. Like, literally, that's where I learned all my toxic traits and everything. It was just horrible. And then this was actually the first healthy relationship, and me going to something new, I had to make the adjustment, but it wasn't, I guess you could say, quick enough.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, because, you know, it's hard to kind of let something new come upon, especially like for me. I was dating somebody, and just like you, I always had toxic relationships where I would always have to like adjust myself to make them happy in a sense. So when this guy came into my life and he was like willing to just accept every part of me, you know, I was like, this isn't love. Like, this doesn't feel like fucking love. Like, this is different, you know? But it was because of the fact that I wasn't used to the kind of love that was, you know?
Yeah.
So that kind of like brings me back to the cheating. Like, was it like that for you, where it's like this was like too good to be true, so it's like I'd rather destroy it before it destroys me?
Again, in the sense, I'll bring it back to the part where, again, I wasn't really looking for a relationship.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's just literally, I wasn't looking for a relationship during that time, man.
Yeah, that's okay.
Right person, wrong time. I don't know if you believe in that.
I don't know. I mean, sometimes I do want to believe that, but then sometimes it's like, but if it's the right person, would it really be the wrong time? I don't know. It's like a never-ending debate in my head, I guess.
I totally understand that. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel now, looking back on as to everything that happened, like with her? Would you say, like?
So, I just reminisce everything that we ever had, like, literally. I know people should say move on. Like, literally, our breakup happened three months and a half ago, around there.
Yeah.
And then, like, again, people say that you move on, etc., let go, heal. But again, that all takes time. And then what people don't know about the healing process is that they think that healing process, they're going to forget about the person, right? Not necessarily. The whole healing process is how much you healed from right after the post-breakup to exactly right now. So, like, post-breakup, I was just bawling my eyes out. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
In my room with my mom, just not not eating, not anything. Like it literally got bad to the point where I had to, you know, those little powder things like with vitamins.
Yeah.
I had to take those because I wasn't eating at all, and I was going to I wasn't going to the gym, but I wanted to go to the gym because like I was on TikTok and everything was like, yeah, you should go to the gym, etc. So I was like, yeah, alright. So yeah, to right now, I mean, yeah, I do still cry. I still do think about what we had, because it was something beautiful. If you ask her, then I don't know. She just hates me and everything. But when it comes to me, like I praise the relationship that we had. But yeah.
I mean, it taught you a lot, right? Like you said, it taught you what love really was. It also taught you things about yourself that you didn't know.
It really changes a person as well.
Yeah.
Because literally, it changed me a lot. I used to be a disgusting, like, I'm not gonna lie, I used to be an asshole with my friends. If my friends ever see this, they know who they are.
Yeah.
I used to be an asshole. But after this relationship, I took a huge step back, literally not just on a relationship, just to see, what I could have done differently with her, what I could change. But I took a huge step back in my whole life. So reflecting with my parents, reflecting with any other relationship, like with my friends, me, and again, church. I'm a very religious person, so ever since the relationship, I got closer to God and everything. And yeah, it's just I'm a whole different person now, compared to what I used to be.
Exactly. And relationships do that too. You know, they. I remember my first heartbreak. Right. That was a big stepping point in my life too. It led me on to spirituality. It led me into like discovering who I really was. You know, and there's beauty in that too. Even though like there's so much pain that comes from it. And obviously none of us want to feel sad over somebody, but I feel like that really should be praised. So, are you dating anybody now, or are you seeing anyone, or?
Drum roll. No. No. So literally after the relationship and everything, again, reflecting back on what I used to do and what I did.
Yeah.
I was just disgusted on myself, you know? Like I literally can't talk to, I mean, I could talk to girls and everything, or like nonchalant and everything, like as friends, but like looking out, seeking out for another girlfriend, another relationship, or even a hookup, that shit disgusts me. Like I just can't do that shit no more.
Yeah.
And even if I do at one point, I just feel like I'm not gonna be ready for it, because literally I'm gonna be trying to look for her in a different person. Yeah. If it's not her Colombian accent, it's gonna be her hair. If it's not her hair, it's gonna be her eyes. If it's not her eyes, it's gonna be the way she acts. It's just all the factors that revolves around her.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's true. I'm in the same spot as you are. Like, I can't really picture myself like being with somebody else right now, just because I'm not ready. Just like you are, you know. I'm not there yet. I was actually like not meeting, but I was like hanging out with this guy, and it was obvious to me that all he wanted was like, you know, obviously intimacy in that sense.
Yeah.
And I'm just like not there, and he kept like trying to push it on me, and I'm like, bro, like this is not gonna work out right now. But it was because like during the whole thing, I just kept thinking like, yeah, I can't do this right now. Like I cannot imagine myself being with somebody else, you know?
Yeah. So, totally understand you, because I mean, it's anywhere. Like when I'm hanging out with friends or anything, if we go to a different part or anything, if we go to the gym, there's always females just staring. I don't want to be no cocky shit or anything, but it's obvious they're looking at me and anything. But and then he's telling me to go shoot my shot and everything. He said like, go forget about it.
Yeah.
Literally, the first advice I had when like fresh out post breakup was go fuck another girl. I was like, yeah, nah, I'm not gonna do that. I can't do that. I mean, literally, I tell my friends, if you're telling me to go shoot my shot, you go shoot your shot. Like I have no interest.
Yeah.
That shit don't faze me. That doesn't bother me. I don't care. Like
I'm proud of you though. I'm proud that you're actually taking the steps to like really heal from this. Because any guy would have just went to like, go fuck somebody else,
Yeah, exactly.
And that's where the whole cycle still follows. So I guess in a sense you're breaking your own. Where it's like you're really taking the time to figure out your shit and just.
Yeah, and that's where a lot of guys don't realize.
Yeah.
Guys, y'all watching this? Yeah, just don't fall into that trap. Don't fall into that cycle, like she said. Don't hurt yourself more, because like let's say for example post breakup, I do end up hooking up with a different girl. Literally, I'm not gonna have the satisfaction of fucking her. I'm like, I'm having the satisfaction through my penis and everything, but through my head and everything, all I'm thinking about is her. I close my eyes, I'm picturing, I'm making love with her.
Yeah.
Literally, this shit is just hurting you, than more than it's hurting yourself.
Exactly. So how are you feeling right now?
Cold.
It is cold. We're gonna have to shorten this episode just because of that. But I'm really glad you took time out, to really explain what happened and how you feel, and to give advice to everybody, because I feel like in a world where healing is just starting to be idealized, it's important to see it come from like a guy, or a guy's perspective.
You have any advice for girls?
Do I have any advice for girls?
Yeah, for this. Because I would tell you what my ex did to me, like the one that I'm madly in love with, like what she just did to me.
Yeah.
I mean, but like, you go first with your advice.
What do you mean by advice? Like advice for how to like react when something like this happens?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I guess it's just more so self-reflection, because it's easy, and let me tell you something. I was the queen of placing blame on somebody else, because it was easier to do that than to really acknowledge my own like role in like what happened. For example, I would always seek validation from men and seek validation from like sexual intimacy, and I actually was dating somebody, and for a while it felt like that's all we kind of were, and I really couldn't trust him communication wise. So like in order to kind of like forget about how our relationship kind of sucked, I would just idealize our sex life, I guess, and this is getting like mad intimate, but that's the truth. And then I realized like the way somebody loves me is my responsibility, because if I loved myself enough to not engage in obviously that, then I wouldn't be sucked into something that isn't good for me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in a sense, like, if she didn't trust you in the beginning of the relationship, like, without trust, there is no relationship, So she could have protected herself in a sense. But also, you learn from things like this, and maybe next time she won't, like, let somebody, I guess, treat her that way, and you won't treat somebody that way either,
Yeah, that's what a lot of my friends used to say. Like my friends right now in the friend group, they even said it that like right after the whole cheating shit, like we broke up for, I don't know, let's say a week, and then we got back together.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends said that we should have just took time right there on the spot, process everything through, and decided we wanted to be together. But now we just rushed into it, and then we were like, yeah, we love each other so much that we're just gonna go straight back into it. And then that just hurt the relationship more, because we're not actually healing through that situation that we just passed through.
Exactly. You gotta confront the situation too. You can't just like bandage it and expect everything to be like okay again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So let's talk about what my ex did.
I'm so done. What did she do?
All right, so I guess you could say that toxic thing. Well, I don't find it toxic. I feel like any heartbroken guy goes through this.
Yeah.
Once the girls leave them, they'll try to contact them. They'll still try to contact them and everything. And that's exactly what I did. I did that with unknown numbers as well. So eventually, she took advice from. Again, I can't assume anything. I don't want to assume. But she took advice from somebody, and she eventually put a restraining order on me. Yeah.
All right.
And then here in New York State, that counts as domestic abuse. And in New York State, domestic abuse is an automatic arrest. So yeah, I went to jail that night, and I went to court the next day. And then there's a whole bunch of personal stuff that happened because of that restraining order. There's just stuff that happened with my mom, losing losing both my jobs, because I was working 2 jobs during the time. They did background checks, and then with that shit happening, I lost it. Fast forward. When I was arrested the first time, I was very nonchalant about it. Like, literally, I didn't really care about it.
Yeah.
I didn't feel anything. A lot of people asked me how I felt, like, being at the back of the cop car and all handcuffed and shit. I literally didn't think about it. Like, literally, the only thing I thought about was her, which I find that odd. And one crazy thing that I still question myself about is that right after I got out of court, because I didn't really sleep well at the jail, obviously in a cell, because it's a fucking bench.
Yeah.
Who's gonna sleep well on the bench? Literally, when I got home from court, I took a nap, and I dreamt about her, and it was a beautiful ass dream and everything. I was like, what the fuck? And I woke up, and then yeah, that happened. So yeah. So fast forward, my sister came. So I have a sister. I have 2 sisters. They're both from Belize. One of them finally had their visa. She came last week, and she came to the U.S. for the first time. And then this time we went to BJ's, and that's where she works. I didn't know she was there until I actually saw her. And then people spotted me, and then she started freaking out, and she called the cops again. She called the cops on me again. So again, I got arrested again, but this time my brother and my sister saw, and then that's where it hit me. I was like, okay, this went way out of hand.
Yeah.
Literally, I was nonchalant the first time because my brother didn't see, but this time actually my brother saw, because I had to put through him. I had to make him go through the trauma that, oh, his brother got arrested.
Yeah.
I don't want that shit to happen as well. I didn't want him to think about that. Yeah, I guess that's where the breaking point of me telling myself that, yeah, I have to move on at this point, because I feel like, I don't know. It's just a whole mix of emotions and everything that I can't explain right now.
Exactly.
But yeah, that shit happened. And yeah, there's a lot more, but that's just an overall summary of what happened.
I can't imagine going through something like that, you know. It's crazy how things go from like something so nice to something as extreme as, like, you know, getting arrested.
Yeah, it was horrible. Do not wish that upon anybody. That was horrible.
Of course. I know you kind of touched upon it, but have you ever spoken to your brother on it after it happened?
Literally when it happened, so the second time it happened, I went through the whole process again.
Yeah.
Went to jail, went to court the next night. They were gonna put another restraining order on me, which was gonna look worse on my record because it was gonna be a cycle of restraining orders. But luckily my lawyer did his job and didn't let that shit happen. But literally when I got out of court and everything, I got home and I apologized to both my sister and my brother, because again, that should have never happened.
Yeah.
I honestly felt bad because, again, I don't want them to know that, oh yeah, my brother went to jail. And especially get handcuffed. Yeah, that's just horrible.
Exactly.
And then, but my mom thought it was her fault as well. My mom was, my mom thought, so, my mom knew she was working there. And then she decided to take the risk. And if I violated what's called the order,
Yeah.
I had a chance of being locked up for 2 years. And she was when I got locked up that second time, she thought I was gonna be locked up for those 2 years. And if I did get locked up for those 2 years, she would have had to live through the trauma, saying, oh, then yeah, it was I knew about the situation and I brought him here, and it's all my fault that he's locked up for 2 years.
She would blame herself.
So yeah, that mean for brothers, that would have just been horrible.
Yeah. Wow. I did not know that it was like to that extreme, you know?
It was, yeah. I mean, it at no point it had to be to that extreme. Like literally, there is no threat. There was no harassment. There is no stalking. There was no nothing, etc. It was just me worrying about her, me caring about her, and just me contacting her. You know. I didn't say crap about her family or anything. I literally put them on a pedestal. Yeah, exactly. I put her and her whole family on a pedestal. Even after this whole situation, I'll run to the point back.
Yeah.
It's just that ridiculous. But yeah, literally. So there's just really no motive, you know, on doing that.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Is there any way to like counteract it, like showing proof that you've never stalked her, never like threatened her?
So this restraining order lasts for a year. I can't have no contact with her. But with this whole situation, this whole trauma, I feel like it's.
Yo, we just got splat. All right, yo, that's funny. I mean, you know, I needed a shower or whatever.
Yeah.
What were you saying? You said it lasts for a year.
So yeah, as this restraining only lasted for a year, through this trauma and through what we both had been through, and what we put each other through, I feel like this situation has to last more than a year. So I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. Like, if there's any try of contact of either of us,
yeah,
it's gonna last more than that year. Probably like 2 years to 3 years.
So like they extend it every time you violate
it's just 1 year. The restraining order is only 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I had that, the second time that I was called that I went to jail again.
Yeah.
If I had that restraining order again, it would have extended another year.
Yeah.
So 2 years.
Wow. That's all right.
But yeah.
I mean, now going back to the question you asked me earlier, which is like, do I have any advice for like reactions? It's just like really evaluate, I guess, the situation clearly, and not in the heat of a moment, because I feel like we do the craziest things, especially when we're feeling angry or sad or, you know, any range of emotion. Because in a sense, like, you know, your life, like that's your life that now is like being placed on hold because you can't do certain things because of stuff like that, you know. And maybe there is some justification over what she did, but at the end of the day, it's like that's a huge extreme, you know what I mean? And I don't want to say anything that's gonna like obviously dismiss what she's going through, because that's not right on my part either. But I guess it's that, just like really evaluate the effects of what you do, you know,
yeah, exactly,
in somebody else's life.
And I know this is something like unlike her at all, because I know her more than anybody in this world.
Yeah.
I know this is something unlike her. So that's where I highly highly think that someone encouraged her. I know who, because I had the same pep talk with that guy a night before I talked to one of my best friends. He gave me a whole story that his ex put a restraining order on him, etc., for him to get away and everything. And then I found it a little odd how that same exact thing happened.
Yeah. It lines up.
So it was just her taking advice from somebody else.
Yeah.
I mean, what can I do?
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, we have the answers of how to deal with certain situations. So really follow like what you guys feel. That's crazy that we got like splashed though.
Yeah.
So what's something else that has kind of been going on in your life besides the whole relationship thing?
Honestly, it's just gym. Trying to be a social media influencer after this. It's just, because this is something astonishing. Entrepreneurship.
Yes.
That's a big thing. And what else? Boxing.
Boxing.
Yeah, I am a boxer.
That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I never knew that about you. So when did you start?
I started boxing like 3 months ago. I mean, I'm freshly new, but
That's okay though.
I'm learning. Yeah, learning a lot.
Yeah. So why did you take up boxing? Like, was there a reason for it?
So after this whole restraining order, it shut down a lot of windows. Unfortunately. I mean, I'll list one of them. I can't go back to school. That's the unfortunate truth. So I was looking for other windows. I mean, entrepreneurship. There's a lot of things I want to do in entrepreneurship and everything. But as a young kid, I was a fighter.
Yeah.
And again, I don't want to be cocky or anything, but
yeah.
I never lost a fight when I was young, during middle school and everything. So I was like, And then I started seeing Ryan Garcia. You know who Ryan Garcia is?
No.
Well, he's a Mexican boxer. He's like famous as fuck and everything.
Wow, I'm like living under a rock. Okay.
And then I was like, you know what? I used to love to fight, and I am at the age where I could do whatever the hell I want, whatever the hell I dream of.
Yeah.
And I love exercising and everything. So I was like, let me be the new Ryan Garcia.
Okay.
And that's where I started learning and everything. So and then boxing, I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it.
That's amazing. Relationships have that effect on us too, where it's like they kind of bring us back to who we always were. Like you said, you always fought as a kid and stuff. So I guess in a sense, she brought you back to your passion. And like, who knows? Like maybe if this wouldn't have happened, you would have never discovered that, or you would have never allowed yourself to take this pathway too. Because it's possible. You just gotta put in the work, and you're an overachiever. Like I remember seeing you in the hallways, ROTC. You're always like top of the class, so you can do it.
Yeah.
You just gotta put in work. I believe in you, man.
Most definitely, yeah.
Yeah. How does your mom feel about you taking up this new path? Have you told her?
Which path? Boxing?
Boxing, yeah.
Nah, she doesn't know.
She doesn't know?
She just knows I go to the gym. That's all.
Okay.
That's literally it.
Yeah. What about the social media influencer? Like, have you started that? How are you starting that?
I mean, I do it through the generic basic way, which is through TikTok.
Yeah.
I do get my likes there and then. I mean, there's some times where I'm at the gym and I think I should record and everything, but I'm too into the workout where I'm like, I can't record right now. Like I gotta work out. But yeah, I mean, it's getting there. I mean, as time comes in, I'll probably post more and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Slow growth. That's how I feel with the podcast too. You gotta start somewhere, and I guess this is your starting point too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's good. All right. Thank you so much for doing this episode with me. I really appreciate you coming out here and being cold and getting wet and helping me out set up.
Yeah, most definitely.
But do you have any socials you want to share with us?
Yeah, my Instagram. Yeah, if you go into my Instagram, it show everything. My Snap, my TikTok, everything. It will be ILLXDP_. It's a weird name. I'm gonna change it one day.
I'll make sure to link it down in the description box below. But until we meet again, thank you again, David.
It is
beautiful.
my pleasure. And guys, I have one more piece of advice before we go off.
Yeah.
No matter how it's too late, be committed in that relationship.
Okay.
It will affect you long term. I mean, you have no idea if this girl is the one that you actually love and everything. And it's true. It's true what everybody says. You don't know what you actually have until you actually lose it. So again, I don't know how you say it in English, but in Spanish, valoren. Like actually, you guys have to validate that relationship. Well, yeah, that's it.
I love that. Thank you for that.
My pleasure.
Bye, guys. Stay beautiful.